Good afternoon, Rutgers. I am WeatherWatcher Jason Heller here with your afternoon forecast for Friday, April 17th, 2026. Starting off with a look at our current conditions right now in New Brunswick, it is 78 degrees and it's partly cloudy outside, feeling a bit more like 80 degrees. So still pretty warm, but not as hot as it has been for the last few days. In addition to that, our humidity is at 46% and winds are pretty light right now out of the northwest at just 3 miles per hour. Looking at some headlines to keep in mind, tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny, a little cooler than today, but still quite pleasant outside. That'll lead into some showers on Sunday. And after that, we're going to be looking at some cooler conditions early next week, particularly for Monday and Tuesday. Looking at our current temperatures in the southern half of the state, we'll see for the most part temperatures are right around 80 degrees, but by the immediate coast near that cooler ocean water, it's going to be a bit cooler. You'll see in Atlantic City it's only 68 degrees as compared to around 80 everywhere else, and that pattern will hold in the north as well, with temperatures also being a little bit cooler in the higher elevations of the northwest. But other than that, generally it'll be around the mid 70s to around 80, with considerably cooler temperatures by the immediate coast. Looking at our futurecast, you'll see through the rest of today there are going to be some showers, potentially a thunderstorm or two. But then on Saturday, it'll dry out, it'll be cloudy, but it won't be raining. But that'll change on Sunday with a larger system moving through, bringing us some rain. And that rain will persist through much of the day Sunday before drying out for the most part on Monday with potentially a shower or two here and there. But then by Tuesday, it'll definitely be drying off and we'll be seeing some sunny conditions, though it will be a bit cooler than we've been used to for the last week or so. Looking at our outlook for severe weather, though, across the entire nation, you'll see much of the middle of the nation is under a pretty considerable risk for severe weather today, with our highest risk being a moderate risk that's a level 4 out of 5, taking up portions of Kansas, Missouri, and a small part of Illinois there. You'll see Kansas City is involved with that. And then beyond that, there's a much wider area of an enhanced risk that's a level 3 out of 5, extending all the way from Oklahoma up to portions of eastern Iowa, much of Illinois, and Wisconsin. And so anyone in any of these areas should be aware of the weather today and should have a plan in case a severe storm ends up coming towards them. One of the things driving this risk is a risk for severe wind. You'll see that risk is highest through most of the area I mentioned before, from Kansas through to Illinois. And you'll see that this area with the black lines here, that means that the wind gusts there could be particularly strong. So especially there, anyone should be looking out for that. There's also a risk for some tornadoes, with the highest tornado risk being in the northern part of that area, in eastern Iowa, northwest Illinois, and portions of Wisconsin. And in addition to all of that, there is a risk for some hail, with the highest hail risk being in that portion of Kansas I mentioned earlier in the moderate risk. Taking a closer look back to New Jersey, though, most of the state is dry right now, with much of the state also being in what's considered a moderate drought. The conditions have been pretty dry lately. We are going to be seeing some beneficial rain on Sunday, but that might not be enough to fully get rid of these conditions. And we also are going to be looking at some drier conditions beyond that. So the state could remain dry for a little bit of time. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, you'll see tomorrow the high is going to be 70 under partly cloudy skies. So a pretty nice day, a bit cooler than today, but overall very pleasant. But then on Sunday, we're going to be seeing those showers moving in and temperatures are going to take a bit of a tumble down to a high of 57 degrees. And on Monday, we're going to be seeing those cooler temperatures move in, high of only 52, with a low potentially getting down to freezing. And beyond that, you'll see some sunny skies on Tuesday. And through the rest of the week, you'll also see that temperatures are going to begin to rebound a little bit, with a high of 58 on Tuesday, and then getting into the low 70s through Wednesday and Thursday, and keeping up that mild pattern through the rest of the work week. So that is all we have for today. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. I'm WeatherWatcher Jason Heller. Have a great day, Rutgers.